to take on the Wyoming Wildcats.
And that they do, Andrew. You look at Wyoming coming into this game 6-7, and Indian Hill so far this season has a record of 6-8. So they're a very evenly matched team. In fact, Indian Hill lost by 1 point last time in the contest.
Definitely. I was talking to Coach Hall actually last week about this game because they've been looking forward to this game for a while because they felt that they could win the game last time, and now that they have home court advantage, they really look to shine and show their stuff, and the Braves are really looking for a victory here.
Hopefully the Braves can pull it out. I mean, they're going to have to shut down, obviously, Jackie Drockman and Elizabeth Looper, who are the two leading scorers for Wyoming tonight.
Definitely. And Jill Hoffman has been a much improved player throughout the season. Seems like every game's just getting a little bit better, so we're going to look to her to be a key player for the Braves. Also, Lindsay Donner and Jen Osher, who are very key players for the Indian Hill Braves.
I mean, you see that Jenny Osher's already put in 174 points this year, and Lindsay Donner with 151. And Andrew, the reason for this is they're shooting threes, and they're making a lot of the threes they're taking right now. And that's the reason their points are so high up there.
And definitely, we've got Indian Hill has their own three-point presence, and that would be Lindsay Donner and Jen Osher would be the two main Lady Braves who really can knock it down from outside the arc. So we're looking for them to shine, and it should be a very close matchup and a tight game, and it's too close to call at this point as who's going to come out with the W.
It really is too close to call, but I mean, the difference in this one I think is Wyoming seems to be more of a power game. They're gonna look to go inside, whereas Indian Hill's more of an athletic team. They're gonna look outside with a shot. I mean, Lindsay Donner's already put in 31 three-pointers this season, and Jenny Osher with 26. So they're threats from the three-point land. The question for Wyoming is, can they shut those two players down?
That is the question. Now, Peter, we've talked a lot about the stats of both the teams, but let's talk a little bit about the pregame that both teams have gone through today. What do you feel the Wyoming Cowboys have done to prepare for this game? And I know you know what I'm talking about with their little show up here. How do you think that's going to affect the game?
Well, actually, Andrew, I talked to Miss Bruder, and the reason they came in a limo, if you will, if that's what you're referring to,
it is.
It actually was their JV team that traveled in the limo because their JV team played at CHCA because Indian Hill does not have a JV team this year due to limited numbers that came out. So it wasn't really for show that they were coming in a limo. It was just a nice thing they did. Their coach... their coach is somehow connected with McCluskey Chevrolet, apparently, and that's how they were able to use that limo.
Well, that's pretty interesting. That's obviously a very fun experience for the girls. A very rare experience. You don't see too many athletic teams that get coached around or travel around in limos. So that's pretty special. Pretty special experience.
And we're going to give you the starting lineups coming up in a couple minutes.
All right, we're going to pause.
And we have just heard the starting lineup for the Wyoming Cowboys, or Cowgirls, if you will.
No, they're definitely the Cowboys. I looked it up online today, Andrew.
Really? They didn't change because the...
yeah, I know. Madeira does that. But for Indian Hill, we're going to have Lindsay Donner, number 50, Navinka Grozdik, number 32, Sarah Wiggers, Jenny Osher, and we're going to finish it off with number 10, Jill Hoffman.
So this is definitely a normal lineup for the Braves. They're not mixing it up or anything like that. It's definitely what we've seen pretty much all year.
Yeah, that is true, Andrew. They're not really mixing anything up. Wyoming looks to be about average size, so Indian Hill really doesn't have to change anything up, putting too many taller players into the game.
And Sarah Wiggers is going to take the tip for the Braves. And for Wyoming, it's going to be Molly O'Brien. And Wyoming gets the tip. They get a good dish inside, and they're going to be able to finish on that.
And that's a basket for Olivia Temmel.
And that's a misread by Navanka Grostik, and that ball goes out of bounds. And that's the first turnover of the game and the first turnover for the Braves.
I mean, Andrew, one thing that's interesting, you look at stats here, Wyoming definitely has a rebound leader in Jasmine Hardy, Although I don't see her on the floor right now. Perhaps she's the one sitting on the bench who's hurt. She's number 31, so we'll have to look for her if she checks into the game. Indian Hill's leading rebounder is also on the bench, Mackenzie Rolls, who has 65 rebounds this year.
It's very true, but I definitely think Mackenzie Rolls is going to check into this game. She usually sees a lot of playing time, although a lot of the time she does not start, which is kind of interesting. And we have a 3 shot by Lindsey Donner, and that's not going to go, but Navanka gets the rebound, and now Sarah gets her rebound.
Back out to Donner, and Donner's going to, spot up, and that's good for 3.
Definitely. She got a second look, a very wide open shot, a good field vision for Sarah Wiggers to see that she was open and dish it off, and it paid off big for the Braves.
It always works well. A couple passes into your offense, look in the post, and then feed it back out. You're always going to have people open around the 3-point line, and Lindsey Donner is able to capitalize on that opportunity.
That's right, and that's exactly what Wyoming did just there. They drove in and passed out, but
so they know your plan of
but that shot misses, and they get the rebound, actually. And we have a blocking foul called on the Braves.
So Molly O'Brien is going to draw that foul for the Cowboys.
And that foul is going to go on Lindsey Donner.
So Molly O'Brien passes it in there.
Jill Hoffman tips the ball to Jenny Osher for the pick. And Jill puts it up for 2, easy basket.
So that's a nice little give and go there. 2 guards just feeding each other.
And Sarah Wiggers with the block comes up big. That was a good idea of Lindsey Donner getting out of the way, so she did not call for a foul.
Actually, Sarah Wiggers is very dominant with blocks this year. That's her 13th block of the season, so
it's pretty huge.
That's really huge. Wiggers says no, if you will, even in basketball.
We had Jenny Osher from downtown. That's going to go. That was quite a long 3. She was almost sitting on the Indian on the court, if you can see that. Just about 3 feet outside of the arc.
So a fight going on inside there. Navinka definitely trying to get position, and Indian Hill's going to come away with that one. Jill Hoffman pushing it back up the floor.
So that's their second steal of the night. Lindsey Donner again for 3, and that's going to go. And that's who we've been talking about. We got Lindsey Donner and Jenny Osher, 3-point presence for the Braves, and they've been coming up big. They total 9 points together from outside. And I'm definitely going to look for that to continue throughout the night, Peter.
Yeah, you look in the last couple games, Lindsey Donner and Jenny Osher have been putting in 3 threes a night, 4 threes a night. I mean, you just got to look for one of those explosive games. Both of them are pretty hot from 3-point range. The real question is, when is one of them going to drain 7, 8? You know, that'd be something to see. So Indian Hill's going to spend a little extra time after the buzzer goes off, just talking over game plan. Their game plan is definitely working so far, and Coach Hall got them ready for this game, as you can see. I know they came in earlier today and reviewed film before this game, so they definitely wanted to come back from that 1-point loss earlier this year.
Yeah, their defense is definitely staying strong throughout this game so far. They've only given up 2 points, and they've gotten 2 takeaways. And they're making it real hard for Wyoming to finish around the basket.
So that's Liz Allen in the game for the Braves. Haven't really seen her with too much playing time so far this season, but she played pretty good defense on the other end.
And Jenny Osher loses the ball. Wyoming takes it down the court. Lindsey Donner picks it, and we still have a fight under the basket. Finally, Wyoming gets a shot, and Liz Allen with the rebound. And now she's stripped.
Yeah, it's taken away.
The ball finally rolls out of bounds. And that's going to be Wyoming's ball. They say it rolled off of Indian Hill. So that was quite a long fight underneath the basket to no avail.
Elizabeth Looper with the ball. She's going to get the pass, and she's going to put up a 3. No good.
She does get her own rebound, though.
Molly O'Brien over to Katie Green.
Good dish inside, but Lindsey Donner with the reject and the steal.
Looks inside to the big man, and that's going to be no good. It's definitely a good look, especially this early in the contest,
Oh, yeah.
to work it inside. It'll open things up outside later in this game.
And that's going to be a foul on Sarah Wiggers. And Amy Taylor, the only freshman on our girls Indian Hill team, is going to check in for Wiggers. She's definitely a solid player.
Yeah, she really is, Andrew. I mean, she's averaging 3.5 points per game. I mean, getting limited playing time, obviously being a freshman, and that's pretty impressive to come in and, be able to contribute each game.
And Jill with the takeaway, and she finishes down the court.
Yeah, Jill's going to take that one coast to coast and finish it.
Yeah, she's forced 3 turnovers already in this game. And it's paid off big time for the Braves because they're up by 11.
O'Brien with the ball now for the Cowboys. He's trying to set up the offense. Goes over to Katie Green. And that's good defense there by Lindsay Donner. O'Brien's going to get it again.
And Jill with her 3rd steal of the night, 4th forced turnover, and she finishes.
So, yeah, Jill's really been picking their pockets tonight and
definitely
coming up with points on the other end.
Like I said, Peter, Jill's an ever-improving player, and she's really showing that tonight.
Hey, maybe she heard you talking about her while she was warming up or something, Andrew, because she is playing incredibly here tonight.
Oh, yes.
So Indian Hill already with 3 fouls. With only 5 minutes done throughout this one.
And there's Wyoming's 2nd basket of the night from just inside the arc. It's a long 2-point.
Elizabeth Loper with the basket there for Wyoming.
Good look for Jill.
She's going to drive it. Split the defense, but that one's not going to fall.
Yeah. She gets crossed over as she goes for the pick. And then I think she fouls also.
I mean, in that situation, you just need a little bit of help side defense. You need another player to step up. I mean, Jill went for her own rebound there. You just needed another guard to step up and slow the ball down a little bit. Jill was trying to catch up with it and was forced to foul rather than give a free layup. But let's see if Looper can't put this 2nd point in to earn that basket.
And Jill's going to take a breather, and Margaret Bingham is going to come in for the Braves.
So Elizabeth Looper earns it the hard way because Jill was forced to foul. Jenny Osher looks inside to Lindsay Donner.
Amy Taylor from about the foul line. That's not going to go. And Amy gets her own rebound. So Braves are going to set this one back up. Dish inside to Amy again. It's going to be short.
Elizabeth Looper with the ball now for the Wyoming Cowboys. Over to Molly O'Brien. O'Brien looking inside. Finds number 12, who's not on the roster. Sorry, folks. Hopefully we can figure out what her name is if we can pick it up by the PA announcer.
That's some good defense by Margaret Bingham. She tips the ball out of bounds.
Olivia Temmel with the shot. And Indian Hill's going to come away with the rebound. Looking at the other end, Lindsay Donner with the finish.
Yeah, that was big. I didn't know she was quite going to get there because Wyoming player was closing in. But she was able to get it up.
And Wyoming's going to come up with an answer on the other end. Elizabeth Loper with the answer.
Margaret Bingham with the shot. It's kind of forced.
I mean, that definitely was a forced shot, Andrew. Yeah. Kind of a rush shot, too, that you didn't need to take that shot. You should have pulled it back up, set up the offense. I mean, Margaret Bingham does get selective playing time, and she's looking for that shot as soon as she gets in, but you got to be more selective about your choices there.
And Mackenzie Rolls is going to check in for Liz Allen. And we have a problem with one of the Wyoming players. She's checking out of the game unannounced. I'm not exactly sure what's wrong.
And Green with the ball now. Back over to O'Brien, almost stripped by Bingham. Elizabeth Looper with the basket.
That was a pretty good shot, too. A dish inside of Mackenzie Rolls, and she is fouled.
So Loper is one of the leading scorers on this Wyoming team, as we said before the game, and Indian Hill really needs to shut her down. That's the only reason Wyoming's still in this one.
Right.
I mean, Loper's just dominating, getting her own rebounds, and she's finishing at the basket. Indian Hill needs to play a little bit of help defense on her.
And that was a good play by Indian Hill for the inbounds pass. They set it up. Amy Taylor had a good open look just underneath the basket. You can tell that's a specific play they run to get quick points, but Wyoming tips it out of her hands and out of bounds. So Mackenzie Rolls.
Mackenzie Rolls with a great drop step and a finish. I mean, she's got really good footwork in the post, and she's very tall too, so it's definitely an advantage. I was actually warming up with her before the game a little bit, Andrew. She's a very, I hate to say this because it's an advantage for other coaches in the league, but she's a very one-dimensional player.
Yeah.
She can really only use her right hand. If she can develop that left hand, she will be such a threat as a junior next year.
And Mackenzie actually had a block on that last Wyoming possession, but no one was there to follow through with the rebound, and so Wyoming got an easy 2. Addition to Mackenzie there, and
she's not able to finish. So Green taking it the other way. She's going to be slowed down by Lindsay Donner, who's going to force up a half-court shot.
Oh, that looked like it had a chance.
That looked like it had a chance. I mean, Indian Hill 19, Wyoming 12. And really the reason Wyoming was even able to stay in this one, I mean, Indian Hill had the early lead by about 15-2 or so, I believe it was at one point. I mean, Elizabeth Loper has been just dominating the game here for Wyoming.
And really what changes, Coach Hall switched out Jill Hoffman to give her a breather because she had been playing a lot, running back and forth on the court with her fast breaks off of her steals that she got. And once she got out of the game, the defense for the Braves wasn't quite as strong as when she was in. So I look to see Jill back in for the Braves starting off the second quarter, and I think that'll toughen up the defense and start some wide open looks for the Braves.
Yeah, definitely, Andrew. I was just looking into the stands, and there's quite a few fans here for tonight's contest. I believe it's a recognition night for younger players, for younger girls teams. As you can see, there's a couple of them sitting up in the stands with their jerseys on.
Yes. And
hopefully this will turn out for a good game for them to see, and hopefully all these players sitting in the stands tonight will be playing on this floor in a couple years. And that's one problem with Indian Hill basketball. That's the reason we don't have a JV team, because enough girls don't come out each year.
Right.
They pick one sport to concentrate on in high school. And a lot of them pick soccer, which is a dominant sport here at Indian Hill.
Yeah.
Basketball could be a dominant sport as well if the girls stuck with it.
So their soccer program is so good for the girls that, you know, it actually detracts from the other sports because they pretty much steal most of the athletes, and then a lot of the girls don't do basketball because they try to work on their soccer skills.
Which is actually, I mean, if you talk to a trainer, like if you talk to Terry right now, she'll tell you that it's better to play multiple sports in high school in particular rather than focus, because once you get to college, if you're going to get to that college level, maybe your junior, your senior year, you know, you move on and start concentrating on soccer exclusively. But it's better to play multiple sports because it works different muscles and you're less prone to a really bad injury.
Right.
Like if you play soccer all year round, you get bigger injuries. So Elizabeth Loper with another point. So hopefully Jill Hoffman, now back in the game, will be able to slow Loper down a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting substitution there because Jenny Osher actually came out of the game for Jill Hoffman.
Jill Hoffman returns to the game, Indian Hill, number 10.
So that's a long pass.
Ooh. It almost paid off for the Braves, but Mackenzie couldn't finish that shot. Ooh.
So no one really able to contain Elizabeth Loper, who's just tearing it up here.
So the Braves only lead by 3 now.
I mean, almost as a coach right now, it'd be it would be great if you call a timeout, switch someone up on Loper because she's just
Yeah.
tearing the Braves apart right now.
We have a
That's
jump
great
ball.
hustle by a senior captain there,
Oh,
Jill
yes.
Hoffman. And as we're on our show earlier this week, we were talking about the success of the girls so far this season, being 6-8, and hopefully being able to be 7-8 after tonight. And the real reason for it being that they've had a consistent coach for 2 years and have actually been able to get into the system.
Right.
And with Mrs. Hall's increased success, and the success last year in the tournament, I can see her being here for quite some time.
Oh, I think she can definitely make a career out of basketball. And I talked to her because the interesting thing is she's actually expecting right now. She's going to have another baby, and so after basketball season, she's going to have that baby. That's when she's due, is after the season is over. So that's good news for the girls on our team. And then next year, she's going to be returning soon enough that she can be the coach as well at Indian Hill. So she plans to return and everything. So it's very good news for Indian Hill, knowing that they're not going to lose her because she's having another child.
Yeah, that's great because, I mean, a lot of times mothers want to spend time with their infant in particular. And that would be great for all these sophomores and juniors and even freshman Amy Taylor. I mean, to have a consistent coach and have her come back yet again next year.
Lindsey Donner kind of threw that one up there, and that's not going to fall.
See, Wyoming's doing a great job of closing out now around the three-point line. They changed their defense up a little bit. They're letting Indian Hill drive to the basket, and then they're flooded with more pressure.
And Jill gets another steal and is fouled.
But they're not giving the open looks at three like they were giving earlier in the game.
Right.
So Jenny Osher's going to go in for Jill Hoffman. So they're not going to be playing together right now in this second quarter. Margaret Bingham's going to take it baseline, force a pass out to Lindsey Donner. Donner's going to drive in, force the double team, and
O'Brien was able to take that one away.
Loper with the ball now for Wyoming. She's quite hot. Now you see Lindsey Donner's guarding her.
Riggers is going to give the ball up to Osher.
Lindsey Donner for three with someone on her.
Yeah.
She's going to get her own rebound, tip it back to Margaret Bingham.
It's actually a pretty good call because she wasn't going to be guarded by that.
Jenny Osher with a hand in her face is not able to complete on that one.
And that was really close, actually. She was just a little too strong.
So Indian Hill hustling after the ball. They're gonna call this one a jump ball.
Yeah.
The possession's gonna stay with Indian Hill.
And so Margaret Bingham is going to inbounds the ball for the Braves.
Jenny Osher from the corner. He's going to look back into Amy Taylor. He's going to fade away. And that's going to go off of Wyoming, surprisingly.
Yeah.
And it's going to remain Braves ball.
I think after Lindsey Donner attempted that three with a girl defending her, Wyoming actually made a defensive switch. And that was they took number 24.
So Green
who's not
is
on.
going to feed to the post. And that's blocked by freshman Amy Taylor. Kristen Mims is going to throw the ball in for Wyoming. Over to Katie Green. Green over to Looper, and Looper's going to draw.
No, it's going to be a call.
Oh, that's going to go against her. What's that, a travel?
Yeah, that's what they called.
Looked like she drew a foul there almost. I mean, you heard the smack of skin, but I guess the travel was before the foul was committed.
I think so.
So Wyoming's going to get called for reaching in there. So Elizabeth Loper with the foul.
And that's just not a good pass by Margaret. I mean, if Loper had been paying attention, she easily could have just intercepted that pass.
So Amy Taylor's going to try to drive it into the basket. Runs into some traffic. Now Wiggers over to Jenny Osher.
Who banks it in. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it may not look too pretty, but it
still
counts. It counts in the record book, that's for sure.
But, Peter, you have to notice that Indian Hill on offense is having a lot of troubles with their passing. The Wyoming Cowboys are really having a hard time, or really causing a hard time for the Braves with that.
Yeah, they're definitely put a lot of pressure on the ball. In fact, they're overplaying them. If the Braves were to back cut a little bit, it would really open some things up for them, I think.
And there's a block called on Olivia Temmel. That's going to put Jen Osher at the line.
Jen Osher's at the line for Indian Hill.
Her first shot's up, and that's going to rattle around and fall.
I mean, Jenny's pretty good from the line. She shoots about 66% on the season, so.
And that one's going to rattle out. But the Braves have now extended their lead to 7 with 4 straight points from Jen Osher.
So Katie Green with the ball now. Katie Green's going to go over into the pass it over into the corner. Back to Molly O'Brien, and that's going to be a travel. She saw the opening, but moved her feet a little bit too much before she dribbled the ball.
And Lindsay Rosenbaum is going to check into the game for Amy Taylor. Lindsay driving baseline, and she draws a blocking foul on O'Brien.
It's kind of interesting, Andrew, because she was pushing off a little bit too.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll call that against the offensive player, but Indian Hill's going to get the call in this situation. Lindsay Donner will take the ball out of bounds for the Braves. Over to Jenny Osher, who's going to pop the 3, and it's going to be a hard brick. And Green with a long rebound for the Cowboys. So Molly O'Brien's going to push it up the floor, blow past her defender, and now she's going to be forced to pass it back out.
We have another jump ball. It's going to remain Wyoming's ball.
So there's been a lot of jump balls in this contest. I mean, no one's really flying down onto the floor and trying to tip that ball to another player. They're satisfied with the jump ball.
And they're going to call that on Lindsay Rosenbaum. That's going to put Wyoming into the bonus.
And again, another number not on the roster that we have, so her shot's no good, though.
Jen Osher over to Margaret Bingham. Inside to Lindsay. Wiggers out to Lindsay. And Jen Osher, ooh. That almost fell. She's going to get fouled and sent to the line.
Fouls on number 14, Olivia Temmel. It's her second team foul. Jen Osher is the line for Indian Hill.
The first shot is up and good. Osher with the opportunity to earn 6 straight points with this basket. And she's able to.
Yep. And Jenny Osher averages about 13 points per game so far this season. And it seems like she made quite a few of those from the line so far this year.
Yeah, I think she has 9 points so far in this game.
Lindsay Rosenbaum's going to shoot it, and that one's good. That's Lindsay Rosenbaum's 6th point of the season. So
that was just an excellent shot. She had got a good pass from Jenny Osher and an open look, and she was able to put it in.
Yep, squared up there from the top of the key and put that one in.
Yeah, that was from some range.
That's about a 15-footer. It's good to see a senior get in there and drain a shot like that. So Jenny Osher going to be pushing it now for the Braves. Lindsay Donner for 3.
Ooh, it's a little short.
So Wyoming's going to drive baseline, and Donner trips and actually falls into a Wyoming player.
Yeah,
it's going to be called for a push.
So it's going to send Ann Roderigue to the line. And Amy Taylor is going to come into the game for Lindsay Donner. It's an interesting switch. These are two very different players.
And Margaret Bingham comes in for Lindsay Donner. Amy Taylor replaced somebody. 2 people came in there. Did they not, Andrew?
No.
No?
No, Margaret Bingham went over to the side to talk to the coach.
Oh, it seemed like she subbed in.
No. I think she thought she was being subbed out, but
oh, okay.
realized that it was Lindsay Donner.
So Amy Taylor doesn't even really look at the basket, perhaps hasn't developed the 3-point shooting. But Margaret Bingham's going to take a simple dribble and burn past her defender and pull from the foul line and drain that one.
So we've got under a minute to go in the first half, and the Braves have dominated.
Molly O'Brien with the ball. She's going to hand it off. That's no good for Wyoming.
And Wiggers with the rebound, taking it down the court. 3-on-1, and she's going to take the shot.
Take it all herself and get her own rebound. That's a travel. Travel called against the Braves, so it's going to be going the other way. And now there's about 30 seconds left in the half. And I wonder if Wyoming's not going to set up a play and try to get the last shot of the half.
It doesn't look like it right now.
Long pass over to Katie Green. 15 seconds left.
And we get a foul called on Amy Taylor. It's a block. Interesting.
Foul sign, number 44, Amy Taylor. It's her first, she's 10.
So Indian Hill already with 10 fouls in the contest, but it seems like they're pretty evenly distributed. So no one player is in foul trouble. Number 12 with the foul shot for Wyoming. Sorry, fans, she's not on our roster on Cincinnati.com. That's the roster that we used for tonight's contest. Number 12 shot is good yet again. So Jenny Osher's going to get the last shot of the half.
It's not going to fall.
It's not going to fall.
So at the end of the half, it's Braves 29, Wyoming Cowboys 18. And this is definitely not what I expected, Peter. I expected this game to be very close, as these teams are matched up very well last time. It was such a close game, and Wyoming won by 1, and this time Wyoming's being blown out in the first half so far.
Yeah, I really thought this was gonna be a very close game, Andrew. In particular, I mean, they only won by 1 point last time. Wyoming actually beat Indian Hill, and Indian Hill's up by so many after this first half. I mean, if Indian Hill can stop Elizabeth Looper,
Then
Indian Hill can pretty much dominate this game. That's really the one person they have to stop. And We're going to be right back after a short break.
So welcome back to the Wigwam for the second half of action. Indian Hill started off with the ball, but Nevenka Grosnik was called for a travel. And now Wyoming's O'Brien was able to finish that baseline drive for 2.
So Lindsey Donner going to take this one in. And that's passed out to Nevenka. So Coach Hall's going to go back with their starting lineup. And it looks like Wyoming's going to do the same here to start off the second half. So that's a forced shot by Nevenka Grosnik.
Yeah. She definitely didn't have to take that. She could have just looked to her left.
And then
dished
she
it off there.
she got a foul because she got real aggressive going after that rebound. So Mackenzie Rolls is in this half pretty early in comparison to the first.
Yeah.
And hopefully she can pull down some big rebounds here for the Braves.
There was a little travel there that wasn't called. Mackenzie gets the pick right away, but Wyoming comes through with the ball. And Lindsey Donner with the steal there. Pass over to Jill. Lindsey's going to go baseline and pass it out to Jen Osher for 3. And that's not going to fall, but Sarah Wiggers with the rebound and is fouled.
So
she's going to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, Sarah Wiggers is being aggressive there, going after the offensive rebound. And she's going to pull that one down and also draw a foul.
First shot is not good.
Sarah shoots about 61% from the foul line, so hopefully the second one will go in.
And the second one does go. And they're gonna call a foul on Jill Hoffman there. So O'Brien to inbounds the ball for Wyoming. And that's a good idea, but the pass goes out of bounds as they're trying to hit Katie Green underneath the basket. Jill Hoffman saves that wild pass from Sarah Wiggers. Lindsey Donner dish off to Mackenzie Rolls for 2. That's going to rattle out.
That was definitely a great look by Lindsey Donner, trying to feed the post. Mackenzie just wasn't able to finish on that attempt. So Loper with the basket.
Yeah.
Nice little in and out play there for Wyoming, using the post and then passing it back outside. So it seems that Wyoming doesn't really have that much size inside. I mean, Indian Hill really should look to capitalize on that with 2 big players in the game like Sarah Wiggers and Mackenzie Rolls, who has a great touch around the basket.
That's right.
She has really good footwork as well. So, I mean, I'd look to her inside if I were the Braves right now.
Indian Hill's doing a pretty decent job of doing that, but they're not able to finish as well as they should have from the inside so far.
Yeah, Andrew, that is correct. They haven't really been finishing that much in the second half as they were in the first.
Actually, Jen Osher tries to put up a floater there, but that's not going to fall. And Jen Osher's called for a block there as O'Brien tried to cut inside and drive baseline.
So O'Brien will take the ball out for Wyoming. O'Brien forces up the shot, but she's going to draw the foul on number 14, Mackenzie Rolls.
Fouls on number 14, Mackenzie Rolls. It's her first, team's fourth.
Mackenzie's shaking her head. I guess she disagrees with that call.
Yeah.
O'Brien's first shot is good. I mean, that's surprising that O'Brien sank both of her foul shots there. Typically, she only shoots about 30%, so it's surprising that she's going to make both of them.
And there's Lindsay Donner with another three-point basket. And Indian Hill proving their shooting ability from outside the arc once again.
So you got to wonder if it's a competition between Jenny Osher and Lindsay Donner every day in practice, if they just have a three-point shooting competition, or if every week Lindsay just taunts Jenny Osher. I have more threes than you do on the season.
Well, there was kind of a little playful taunting there. If you'll notice, after she made that three, she kind of pointed at Jenny Osher and chuckled a little bit, cracked a smile. So that may be an accurate statement.
They're both pretty close, 1-2.
And Jill from three just puts a line drive to the basket, and that's not going to go. And O'Brien gets the jumper.
Basket by number 25, Mario O'Brien. O'Brien.
Jill's going to put that one up from just inside the arc.
And that's going to be another jump ball.
And that's going to favor Wyoming.
The one nice thing is if there is a loose ball and Indian Hill really can't get to it, they play good enough defense where they can always get a hand on it and force it into a jump ball.
Right.
So Wyoming's setting up their offense a little bit.
And
Green looking inside to O'Brien, almost picked off by Lindsay Donner.
Sarah Wiggers with the rebound there. And Jill draws the foul off of that break. And Jill is a very solid free throw shooter.
Yeah, she shoots over 70% from the line. So what's interesting, Andrew, we were talking about this, I think yesterday or so, that Jill doesn't have a particular amount of dribbles that she does at the line, but rather a rhythm in her head. But she's made a lot of them so far this year. In fact, she's made, I think that's her 32nd of the year or so. That's one thing Jill's always been good at, really throughout her whole career here at Indian Hill, is shooting foul shots.
And if you'll notice on that dribbling there, the first time Jill dribbled 9 times, the second 11 times. And Sarah Wiggers is called.
It's all about that rhythm.
Yeah.
Fouls on number 32, Sarah Wiggers.
That'd be a stark contrast to J.J. Reddick, who has a very specific routine that he does at the line, and obviously he's a very good foul shooter.
That looked almost like a trip, but they're going to call a block foul.
Yeah.
On, I believe it's Sarah Wiggers.
It's her second foul in a row.
I think that's her third. It's her third already in the game.
I know, but it's her second foul within 30 seconds.
Yeah. Sarah's not very happy about that call at all.
No, she's not.
It's now Liz Allen in the game for the Braves.
That's going to be a little off. And, ooh, Wyoming gets the rebound. And just a no-look wild behind-the-back throw. But finally, Indian Hill gets possession.
So Liz Allen is able to pull down rebounds for the Braves. One thing she needs to work on is being a little bit stronger with the ball. Wyoming put a little bit of pressure on her there, and she got a little flustered. To improve her game, she needs to work on being a little bit stronger, more protective of that basketball.
Right. Amy Taylor with the turnaround jumper there. That's not going to go. Ooh, and Lindsay Donner picks the pocket. And she's going to slow it down for the Braves.
That's a smart decision. for the
Jenny
Braves. I mean,
Osher
being
draws
up
the
by
foul.
almost 10, yeah.
Yeah.
Fouls on number 12, Courtney Torres. It's her first, team's fourth.
So I guess Wyoming has two different jerseys. Number 12 is Courtney Torres, who's listed on the roster as number 13. So perhaps she's number 13 in white and number 12 in blue. I mean, sometimes that happens at schools.
Yeah, that
That might be the case.
might be the case.
But Jenny Osher's first shot is good.
Jen Osher.
And her second shot also falls. So Indian Hill with a little full court press there. And that's definitely a travel.
Yeah, it took quite a few, too many steps there going to the basket.
About
but
5 steps.
it was a good try. You know, in the NBA, that would work.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the NBA is really all about entertainment. People play so much to go to the games that the refs let a little bit of that go. I think that's part of the reason college basketball is so fun to watch. It's because there still are those rules there.
And if you watch number 32, Loper, she does that same move a lot. If you'll see, she kind of almost palms the ball and fakes it outside and then just crosses over.
So Jenny Osher with
Like
another
right
basket.
there. She does it again, but
O'Brien's long shot's not going to be any good, though, for the Cowboys.
Jill for 3. That's going to go.
That's Jill's fourth 3 of the season.
And Jenny Osher almost got the swat there. And Loper again leading the Cowboys.
I think her foot was on the three-point line there, Andrew.
I think it was.
And that's just a long two-point shot. Would have been nice if that was a 3, but it's a long two-point shot that goes in.
And Liz Allen with the turnaround, not able to finish, but she gets her own rebound. Oh, it's knocked out of her hands. And O'Brien comes up with it.
So Brian with the 3.
Her foot was on the line, actually. And it's not going to be good, but the rebound.
Olivia Temmel with the putback.
Ooh. Amy Taylor with the long 2, and that's going to fall. Her feet were on the three-point line there. We got 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Doesn't look like Wyoming's aware of the clock. They throw up a shot there, and Amy Taylor gets the rebound. Ooh, it's a jump ball.
And the possession's going to go to Indian Hill.
With almost 3 seconds left, not quite, 2.7.
I mean, Indian Hill shouldn't touch the ball here until they're forced to. And Jenny Osher's going to throw up a half-court shot. Actually got almost fouled there, but you're not going to call that one.
Third quarter, scores Braves 44, Cowboys 30.
So at the end of the third quarter, the score is Braves 44, the Wyoming Cowboys 30, and Indian Hill really pulled away in this quarter, Andrew.
They really have. I mean, the Wyoming Cowboys were able to cut the lead down to 3 points, and now it's back up to a 14-point lead, which is just amazing for the Braves considering how close this game was the first time they met. I mean, I don't know if it's just home court advantage or not, but I talked to our principal, Terry Barton, and he said that actually as we mentioned before, their number 1 rebounder is injured on the bench, and there's also been a couple girls that have been kicked off the team, and so that may have affected it. And in fact, one of the girls is actually suing the coach and the team for emotional damages. So they've obviously got some inside turmoil in their team there. So that's probably playing a factor in this game.
I mean, actually, that's definitely playing a factor in this game for Wyoming. I mean, it's tough when you lose a couple players off your team. It changes the whole chemistry of the team, and you lose your biggest rebounder, and then you lose 3 other players or whatever you said, kicked off for an unknown reason, to us at least. I mean, it's known inside the locker room that's how it's going to stay. But, I mean, that's just kind of tough. It definitely mixes up the chemistry a little bit.
Right.
And we'll see how Wyoming can do in this fourth quarter.
And so Wyoming starts off with the ball in the fourth and final quarter of the game. And Loper can't finish, and Jen Osher with the ball for the Braves. Inside to Amy Taylor, and back out to Jill for three. Ooh.
Loper with the ball for the Cowboys.
Well,
That's just great. That's great ball movement there.
Yeah. That was a good move by Olivia Temmel to get around Amy.
Yeah, she finished the play there.
And
Indian Hill with an answer on the other side.
Yeah, Lindsay Donner just doesn't let that affect her and comes right back. And Loper trying to answer Lindsay, and she cannot do it. Jenny going to keep this one herself, and she's not going to be able to finish.
There are quite a few players, even on the bench, that are wearing knee pads for Wyoming. That's interesting. The only other girls team that I've seen do that, actually the only other team I've seen do that is Seven Hills girls. That's just their coach's mentality that you have to get on the floor. You have to get every loose ball. You don't want to skin your knees up. I mean, the floor is kind of rough.
Right.
And having knee pads like that is an advantage. But that's the only other coach I've seen have most of his players wear knee guards for that same reason, just to go after all the loose balls.
It seems like there's only one player on Wyoming's team that does not wear the knee pads.
Yeah, it is. It's number 10, Katie Green, but she has a knee injury, so perhaps the knee pads don't fit over her knee brace.
And that was Jenny Osher's three that came up short. We get a foul call, offensive foul called on Amy Taylor. She's trying to be strong and aggressive underneath the basket to get that rebound.
So Wyoming's already in the bonus, and Indian Hill's going to have to be careful around the ball to not commit fouls, or they can be points against them. It could bring Wyoming right back into this game.
Right. At this point, Indian Hill does not need Wyoming getting points without the time running down. And Sarah Wiggers checked into the game for the Braves. And her first shot is good for Wyoming. She earns her second. And that one's going to roll out.
Jenny Osher with a long pass.
And Lindsay Donner money from that corner.
Lindsay Donner has been money from three-point range tonight. I think that's her fourth or fifth three.
It's reminiscent of Sherpy from old.
Yeah, definitely.
Shooting from that corner. And that's a good call by the referee, being aware of everything that's happening, not only the pressure that Jen Osher put onto her, making sure she doesn't foul, but also being aware of where her feet are moving to.
Yeah, I mean, Olivia Temmel just got flustered a little bit by the defense there.
And look at Lindsay Donner wide open.
Stepped out of bounds.
Jenny was actually triple teamed at one point. Works out of it, and Jill Hoffman with a kind of sloppy pass there.
Yeah, she tried to force it in with a lob pass to Sarah Wiggers.
Yeah.
But Molly O'Brien is a pretty big guard, 5'8".
She's a very big guard.
So she matches up well against Sarah Wiggers.
I think she's actually taller than 5'8".
The roster says 5'8".
I know. She looks bigger than 5'8", Peter.
Yeah, she does look a little bit bigger. In fact, this is a very young team for Wyoming. You got to look for them to be pretty good in the future, too, with only one senior on the roster. That's Jackie Drakeman.
Wyoming with the rebound off of that missed shot.
So Liz Allen unable to pull that rebound down, but Lindsay Donner's able to get it. Out to Sarah Wiggers, looks at the three. He's going to drive it in and draw the foul. It's going to be a block foul against Olivia Temmel, and that'll be Wyoming's fifth foul. of this half.
And she definitely thought about pulling up for that three.
I
You
guess
can
the
see-
coach, you see the coach signaling for a travel call.
Yeah.
I don't really think you're going to get that because the foul was committed long before Sarah took the extra step.
Right. The only reason she had to take the extra step is because she was fouled. So.
Jenny Osher looking for a pass. Allen inside is going to square up to the basket. And that one's just not on target.
And that's definitely
That's her signature
that
move
is
there.
definitely her signature move. If you look, like I mentioned before, she does that every single time.
She uses a head fake and a ball fake, and she looks like she's going to pass it over to the right with one hand.
Yeah.
Then she takes it straight at the basket.
The only problem is it's a lot of times when she does it, it's a carry.
Yep.
And she actually got called for traveling early in the game for that same move. So she's got to be careful with it. It's definitely a move that works.
Olivia Timmel is only a freshman, actually. She's a freshman who plays forward for Wyoming. And she's going to drop that one from the foul line.
And she airballs her second one.
I mean, she is only a 44% shooter from the foul line. I mean, but that's pretty good to step up as a freshman and be able to play varsity.
Right. And she airballed that because she forgot to bend her knees there.
And she's contributed to this team quite a bit, it seems like. Averages about two points or so a game. Now she's taking it almost coast to coast. But she's going to be smart enough to pass it back out and set up some offense.
Oh, good defensive try by Jen Osher. Try to get that strip.
Loper with the ball. She's going to force up a layup, and that's a kiss off the glass.
Yeah.
And good.
It was a good shot. She turned around and had 3 Braves in her face, so she decided to put it up.
So Loper's really trying to carry this Wyoming team.
Ooh. Sarah Wiggers gets blocked.
It doesn't seem like Loper's been subbed in for too much, even if at all, in this game.
Oh, wow. It's a good pass from Joe Hoffman and Jenny Osher.
I mean, Jill was definitely trapped in the corner here, as you
Yeah.
saw. That was just a great pass to Jenny Osher. So Wyoming's going to call a timeout.
And Loper needs to watch it because she just threw that ball across the court. You cannot do that.
Deb Gentile, the coach of the Wyoming Cowboys this year, and she's going to call a timeout.
And you know, the Braves have been pretty dominant throughout this game, as we've mentioned, and Wyoming has really been almost a one-person team with Loper. I mean, she's really the spark that just runs the team, and she's been doing a pretty good job. But in basketball, you cannot do it alone. And so that's why the Braves are winning this one handily at the moment with 3:15 left to go.
Yeah, that is very true. Andrew, the interesting thing is, I guess, Wyoming was able to get a few more games in early in the season than Indian Hill was. They only had 2 games left after this. They played Deer Park High School at Deer Park and then Finneytown at Finneytown High School. Indian Hill still has about 4 varsity games left. They also have a Madeira B game, which is like a JV game for the varsity players who don't get in and don't play very much in the varsity games.
Right. It's basically, the varsity B is basically like the underclassmen that are on our team. Because we've got a pretty big varsity team, but that's only because we couldn't field a JV team. So we've taken more players than a normal team would have. And so it's just it's a good gesture to have a varsity B game. And Jill Hoffman going to take it in herself for 2.
Jill Hoffman.
So that's O'Brien with the 2-point basket. Jenny Osher over to Lindsay Donner. Donner's going to drive it in, forced to throw a long pass outside over to Lindsay Rosenbaum. Back to Osher at top. Osher's going to work a spin move. And Indian Hill's just running the clock here, if you will. Actually, Wiggers is going to get more aggressive and go at the basket.
Yeah, but she kind of forced that one up a little bit and got denied by the backboard. And Loper with that fake look and then a pass that's tipped off of one of her own girl's hands. She wasn't really expecting it, and Lindsay Rosenbaum comes up with a steal for the Braves. And that's definitely a push on O'Brien. Wiggers was just standing there looking to who to pass for, and she just ran up and bumped her over. It's an easy call for the ref, and now Lindsay Donner inbounds the ball to Jen Osher.
So Indian Hill just passing the ball around, just running the clock, milking the clock, if you will. Wow, and that looks like it should have been a foul call there.
Yeah.
Loper going down to the other end is going to put up a 3, and that's no good. Jenny Osher with the rebound.
Over to Jill Hoffman. And there's a blocking call. So she's going to... She may go to the line. Yes, she will go to the line.
Serve fourth, T7. Jill Hoffman on the line.
And like we said before, Jill Hoffman is a very solid free throw shooter.
Yeah, she is definitely very solid, shooting over 70%, as we had said before. And she's always been a strong foul shooter, Andrew.
And so Jill puts up her first shot. Oh, and that does not go, but that was her second shot, actually. And Jill Hoffman gets her own rebound, but isn't able to get that one through. And O'Brien is going to take the ball in, and her lane closes down, so she's going to dribble it out. And we have a jump ball, so that's Indian Hill's possession. Or no, there's a timeout. It's
Yeah.
Wyoming's timeout.
Yeah, Andrew, that is Wyoming's timeout. I think the team's only called maybe 2 timeouts this whole game. And Indian Hill definitely has a sufficient lead here.
Yeah, they're winning the game by 16 right now, and there's just under 1 minute to go. I don't think Wyoming has a 16-point play in their book, so
I mean, you hit a couple threes and you're right back in this, Andrew.
it's very true.
You hit 4 threes and you're only down by 4. They just need to shoot quickly, though, if they want to have a chance of winning this one. And O'Brien's going to force up a 3, and that's no good.
Ooh. And I don't know about that call. That looked like a pretty clean block by Mackenzie Rolls.
Mackenzie Rolls second in blocks behind Sarah Wiggers for the Braves with 9 blocks, but that's not going to count because that's going to draw a foul on her. And that one's going to hit off the front of the rim. For Wyoming's Olivia Timmel. Timmel's second shot is going to be a brick as well.
She's pretty consistent. It's just not in the right way. Because the
I mean,
last time she was at the line, she did the same thing also.
No, she actually drained the first one. She airballed the second, Andrew. I mean, she is only a
that's right.
freshman.
That's right.
She's only a freshman, so I mean, she'll gain experience through the years and be able to step up and knock down the foul shots. There's a little bit of pressure as a freshman playing varsity, obviously.
Right. Jill Hoffman's going to go to the line for 2 once again. That's up and good.
So that's going to extend the Braves' lead by another point. Amy Taylor on the line waiting to check in for the Braves. And I assume she's going in for the shooter.
Yeah, and Jill drains her second shot. Yep, and Jill checks out. So Jill Hoffman, Jen Osher, and Lindsay Donner all out for the Braves. Actually, the entire starting lineup for the Braves is on the bench right now.
So the Braves are going to run a zone here, a 2-3 zone.
Mackenzie Rolls with the rebound, and they're just going to slow that down. I don't know Wyoming's not putting any pressure on this one, and there's 20 seconds left in the game.
Indian Hill just needs to milk the clock here. Don't get too excited. Just run the offense, pass the ball around the top of the key, and they will have sealed the victory.
This one is all but over. There's 10 seconds left. And I don't understand that. There's less than 10 seconds left, and they're fouling.
I mean, as a player, you never want to accept defeat, Andrew. That's a thing that keeps you competitive and gives you your competitive edge. You never want to give in, no matter what the score is, and that's why that player committed that foul with no time left practically.
So Amy Taylor does not get her first shot. Wyoming with the rebound. 5 seconds left. A dish off. Going to drive in. No good. And time is going to expire.
And this one's going to belong to the Braves. The score 56, Wyoming 34. And this was a very evenly matched game. Not in the least, actually.
Still recording too. All right, we're gonna cut the camera now.
And so the Braves improved their record to 7-8 after their victory over the Wyoming Cowboys. And as you can see, they beat them pretty handedly. The final score was Braves 56, Wyoming 38. And the Braves have really played very well throughout this game, Peter.
Yeah, the Braves definitely played extremely well, beyond anyone's expectations, recording their 7th win of the season, and now they're 7-8, and they're almost at that 500 mark.
That's right. And so, I mean, Coach Hall has been doing an excellent job with this team, and I look for it to continue. I look for them to get some more wins, gain some experience, and like Mrs. Hall always takes our team, or at least she did last year, strong into the tournament. So I'm looking for them to finish strong in the tournament once again this year, and we'll see how they do later on in the season when that comes up. I think you said they have 4 games left.
No, actually, they have 4 games left.
And one of those is a varsity B, as we mentioned, right?
No, I didn't count that one. They have 5 games left.
Okay.
And one of those is a varsity B. They have 4 varsity games left. In fact, their last home game here against Marymount is coming up, and that'll be senior night. That'll be a great night for all the players here at Indian Hill. You have Lindsay Donner and Jenny Osher just dominating from the three-point line.
And so we're going to see you next time here at the Wigwam on February 7th for the senior night for the Indian Hill Lady Braves. Until next time, I'm Andrew Burgess.
And I'm Peter Carr.
See you next time.